gamers? Hope you're all doing well. So ever since this coffee shop meme has started a few months ago, we all know that the memes and jokes have never stopped. Well, the actual dev that made that tweet regarding the coffee shop has responded, and yeah, it's a pretty good topic, so make sure to stay tuned for it. Also, we've got some pretty crazy stuff regarding one of the biggest Apex content creators spreading some crazy misinformation that like literally broke the internet this week. Like, it moved on beyond just Apex news. It started to get picked up by Esports Talk with Jake Lucky. Like, this story got pretty big and it was fake. It was not true. And to all the true supporters out there, my goal is to eventually do like a 10,000 like goal and actually hit it, but I'm scared to like actually ask for that much and try. So let's try once again to solidify 5,000 likes on this video. And lastly, Apex mocking some of the haters in recent light of record-breaking stats. So make sure to stay tuned. And as always, we've got some gold nuggets. Also, how are you guys enjoying the update? You guys know that we just had the Arena Flash update and the bow check, bow and Spitfire nerf. And by the way, look at my friend Otter here. This is some gameplay that him and I got. Well, I was just playing with him. He got the gameplay and just absolutely carried me. But considering how good he is at the game, especially with this bow, we got some really good, valuable opinions from him with this bow that we're going to talk about later in the video. But make sure to go check out my friend Otter. His link's in the description. The dude is insane and he's a good friend of mine. And when you go, just make sure you tell him that I sent you. All right, so let's kick it off with our first story. I was really shocked to see this. Honestly, I wasn't really shocked to see the first part of the story, but just the reply from this specific Apex dev, it could not have felt any better than this. So unless you've been living under a rock or you've just not played Apex in the past few months, you might not know exactly what I mean when I say this free coffee or coffee shop meme. Basically, there was a Respawn developer that tweeted out, I guess, kind of looking for like empathy from the Apex community. And not that really any of this has changed, but basically it was a really bad spot in Apex where hackers were literally taking over the game, and they're still all in the game, but it just was really bad at this spot and people were going crazy. Players were just tweeting at Respawn all day long about how bad they've taken over. Every YouTuber was making a video about it. So the devs were constantly being faced with this opposition of fans being annoyed with all the hackers. So this specific Respawn developer named Chen on Twitter tweeted out a couple of months ago saying, you know, imagine you run a coffee shop and people break into it every day and burn it to the ground, and then the customers get so mad and hate the owners rather than the burglars. And he was trying to make that comparison, and with the benefit of the doubt, I understand what he was going for, but obviously you could see the faults in that logic and it just fell apart quickly. So that was the whole meme. Everyone was talking about, you know, the free coffee thing, and just it was one big joke of Apex right now. So finally, after all the tensions died down with this, the same Respawn developer actually tweeted out a couple of days ago replying to an Apex streamer. We're kind of going through the same situation, except it was not deemed the same situation by many of the people that replied to it. You have to wait till you see some of these comments. It's actually hilarious. Okay, so Apex streamer and also former caster, or maybe he's still casting, I'm not sure. Anyways, a person that you probably have heard of or seen in the Apex community before, a part of Liquid, named is Hodsick, actually made this tweet on May the 10th. So this is 2 days ago from when I'm recording, saying Apex is the only game where I've ever played where someone who plays 1 to 2 hours a day and is gold thinks they know better than everyone else. I get downvoted on Comp Apex subreddit when I give my competitive input by people who have never competed in Apex or probably anything. And he made this tweet regarding the viral Asu clip that went crazy on Twitter, where Asu was just going off on his chat, calling them stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. They're so dumb. That's why people hate Apex. That's why some people don't like streaming Apex. He don't even like to look at chat because the chat is just so stupid. So when that tweet went viral, you had two sides. Obviously, people were saying Asu is ridiculous for calling his fan base stupid, and I cannot believe he would do this. What a guy. You should not support this dude. Then you also had people like Hodsick that supported it and saying, look, he's not lying. Apex reviewers are kind of stupid sometimes. So that's not the point of this video. That's not the topic we're talking about, but you can leave me your comments down below what you think of that. But basically, after all of that, the same Respawn developer that was getting flamed for the coffee shop memes replied to Hodsick and said this: is it too on the nose if I say post on Apex Legends Reddit and Twitter and get attacked by people who have never worked on games, some of whom I love as competitive players and streamers, but could probably use a bit more empathy when dropping their hot take on the game? This phenomenon isn't unique to Apex or games in general. For what it's worth, I think it's okay to criticize someone's work even if you lack the skills to do the work, etc. Food critics that aren't chefs, but please be polite and don't assume you can do their job better. And honestly, I have two opinions on this, one kind of going on each side. One of them is that Respawn should not be looking for empathy from their players. You're a business who attracts people who have all kind of mixed opinions. You should expect to have people that you respect that don't like your product. That's just the way the world works. I have YouTubers that I love and look up to that I actually heard that don't like my content whatsoever. And of course it doesn't feel great, but we just move on. I don't go on Twitter and say, I'm just looking for empathy for you to be nice to me. Like, it's just not that way that it works. Oh, I just want you to say that you don't not enjoy my videos. You don't have to tell me that you like them, but just tell me that you don't not like them. So the business side of me says that, but then the logical side says, sure, you know, we could be less harsh on the devs because they are humans and people too. So I don't know. I'm so unstable. So one of the comments was the classic Dunning-Kruger effect in the works. I'm not really sure. I've never heard of this, but basically it makes a good illustration saying, I'm so great, and then dipping all the way down in confidence, going, I know nothing, but then back up to saying, I'm pretty good, but know my limitations, which is true. But someone did reply and say this could also be used for the dev side too. I'm confident that I'm right because I made the game, but I can't acknowledge when I'm wrong. People go to the jugular when people like Daniel Klein say something so confident, but for a lot of people who play the game, they know he's wrong. But with all fairness, this guy was also wanting to bring a Caustic buff when Caustic was probably at his peak. So I don't know, the situation is just weird. I think that the dev has a point. Obviously people could be less harsh, but I also don't think that they should be looking for empathy on Twitter regarding their fans. And I also felt like, you know, it was kind of Chin's like saving grace to see Hotic go through a similar situation so that he can compare it to himself, even though I don't really think they go hand in hand, but that way he can kind of blow over the whole coffee shop meme. But I think that people have a point. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. All right, so moving on to the next story. I'll try to keep it quick because, well, it's past midnight already for me, and I know some of you are at school, at work, so let's jump right into it. So you guys have probably heard this. Everyone and their mother was talking about Tufi apparently being arrested and just covered in legal fees. This all started with NRG Rogue on stream saying and confronting everyone that Tufi was like basically done for. He so confidently said on stream that Tufi had a pile of legal fees, that they got him, that he's done. And I guess also made the remarks that he was arrested, that he was behind bars, that he was in jail. Well, shortly after, Tufi just posted on YouTube saying that he was not in jail, with this thumbnail actually just kind of taunting the whole situation, which I thought was absolutely funny. So yeah, Tufi confirmed he's not in jail and the rumors are fake. And according to Tufi, there's no legal fees involved right now. All right, and lastly, Respawn mocking the haters for Apex. This is a good dub right here. I was really happy to see this because I knew this day would come. I knew it's already kind of been here. I'm just surprised that it hadn't happened before. And actually, when I'm just pulling this up recording now, Frozen Fro actually has this tweet deleted, which I'm not sure, but basically they were showing the stats that Apex was actually the most streamed game or watched streamed game during the period of season 8. And they showed the stats next to Warzone and Fortnite. It was super close, but Apex was #1. And they also said that they averaged around 12 million weekly players. And according to the EA earnings call from Apex Legends News Titanfall blog, that everything from EA's earning call was good with Apex Legends. In summary, Apex Legends far outperformed EA's expectations, and they plan to continue to grow the game massively in the coming year. That's great to hear. Big plans for mobile too. So you can guarantee when you want the features to come in Apex that you've always wanted, like these are good steps to make that happen. Well, many developers actually tweeted out saying, oh, but I thought this was a dead game, because everyone seems to want to comment like dead game as soon as they post the trailer. But yeah, I'm not sure why they all deleted their tweets. I'm not sure what the big deal about that was, but yeah, so now you know. All right, welcome to the gold nuggets part of the video. If you are new, make sure to comment down below gold nuggets. I'm gonna try to heart as many as I can. Also, these gold nuggets are actually super good. I could have definitely made these into a video. Usually the whole idea behind gold nuggets is to make content that's not big enough for a video, but honestly, this stuff is big enough to make for a video. I just didn't, but I'm still going to run through it really quick. Also, make sure to go grab your gold nugget shirt on my store, www.jmeyels.com. Link in the description. The gold nugget shirt is the best one there. Actually, that's debatable, but it does look good. Why did I do that? But so Respawn tweeted out the other day saying, small update, the Phase Runner Ghost Rock fix has been delayed further to quality control reasons. Be aware that abusing this exploit while it's still around is actually bannable. What? They're banning people for like using exploits? I mean, I totally understand like DDoSing exploits or getting back and getting free RP, but just like using a glitch, I don't even know what this glitch is, so maybe it is actually bannable. I should probably do more research when I talk about stuff like this. What a journalist I am. All right, this is actually a super good gold nugget right here. PvP actually said on Twitter saying, hot take, the bow being released incredibly OP was actually a good decision by Respawn. It would have been really boring if it was underwhelming like the release of Fuse. After the first week, it should be nerfed though. And this is where I got some opinions from my friend Otter, which by the way, you need to go check out. This dude is, I'm telling you, this dude's gonna continuously blow up on YouTube. He's such a heavy grinder. The man is like trying his best to make it out on YouTube. I'm telling you, he deserves so much attention. So obviously Otter is incredibly good at the game, and I asked him what he thought of the bow. And honestly, I disagreed with him because at first I'm like, you know, the bow is so hard to use for me because I suck at the game. So I don't see how it's so overpowered, but I can totally see how a good player can abuse it. And I don't really think it just needs to be nerfed as in brought down in the damage. I just think that it needs to be redone, but like still needs to be as fun as it is now because it's a super fun weapon to use. But it's one of those weapons that it's too much for a good player. Like a good player can abuse it so well, but then a bad player, it's like almost completely useless. But PvP was also totally right about this. I've been saying this about Legends since like the dawn of time. Revenant was such a letdown and really messed up season 4. So they need to continuously make the Legends and weapons overpowered when they come out and then nerf them shortly after. All right, that's gonna be it for this video. See you all in the next one. It's Viber Die Only Positivity. Make sure to go check out the merch because we got our Viber Die Only Positivity shirt, made it just for you. Also, let's try to hit that like goal of 5,000 likes on the video. Would be greatly appreciated. I don't know, I want to see how many times we can consistently hit these like goals. I'm afraid to keep going up because I don't want to set myself up for failure. All right, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Later, Gators, and I'm out. Peace.